In the last two films, the early important steps towards good driving have been demonstrated. Checking, starting and stopping, steering, gear changing and braking. With adequate practice of all these features together, the new driver will soon be doing them almost automatically and is then ready to move on to the next stage. With a better idea of the feel of the car, less concentration need be devoted to just working the controls. The driver is better able to look ahead on the road, size up the situation and plan the next driving move. If we are going to drive comfortably, movements need to be well coordinated, and this is particularly applicable to starting on a hill. On a hill, two forces pull a car in opposite directions. One, gravity, and two, engine power. We can control gravity with the brake and engine power with the clutch and accelerator. If we release the brake too soon, the car rolls backwards. If we release the clutch too soon, the engine will stall. So, to start smoothly on a hill without rolling back or stalling, we operate clutch, handbrake and accelerator all at the same time. We press in the clutch and select first gear in the usual way. We check the road and indicate our intention. All clear, we release the clutch until it engages sufficiently to hold the car. We release the handbrake and the clutch is let out as we press the accelerator. And we move off smoothly. Once again, clutch and gear, check the traffic, signal, ease clutch out and accelerator down. As clutch engages, release handbrake. Accelerate as clutch is released all the way. Sooner or later, the new driver is confronted by a situation out of which he will have to reverse. It's necessary to turn around, which presents no difficulty if the seatbelt is adjusted correctly. The modern car affords a fairly wide view to the rear, although parts of the car body will restrict this. To obtain the best possible view, we can use various angles: over the left shoulder, over the right shoulder, out of the driver's side window and in the rear vision mirror. Before engaging reverse gear, the car must have come to a complete stop. We must always reverse very carefully, having little warning of what or who might suddenly appear from behind. To reverse slowly, we slip the clutch. Because we turned away from the controls and because we're now steering the back of the car instead of the front, reversing feels strange at first, but the unfamiliar feel passes after a little practice. A good rule of thumb to follow is to keep the curb parallel to the car and in line with the center of the rear window. We check the front from time to time. Now we can move forward again. Once more, the car must be completely stationary before changing from reverse to a forward gear. Finding a parking spot soon becomes every driver's nightmare, particularly in the cities, and most of the time we come upon one before we realize it and have to get in as best we can. Obviously, this is not the way to do it. To get the back of the car in as well as the front, we need to reverse in. So we'll drive slowly past the space, making sure that it is not a driveway or a fire plug, and that it is at least 8 feet longer than the car. We stop alongside the car in front and about 2 or 3 feet away from it. We start to reverse slowly, quickly turning the steering wheel to the left, which points the back of the car into the space. As our front wheel levels with the rear of the other car, we turn the steering wheel to the right, which brings our front end close into the curb. Moving forward, we now straighten up. We try it again. Pull up alongside the car in front. Reverse gear. Turn hard to the left as we begin to go back. Our front wheels level with the rear of the other car, and we turn to the right to bring the front end in. Straighten up. Regulations require a space of 4 feet to be left front and rear between parked cars. 4 feet front and rear is enough space for cars to move in and out without damaging each other. Parking on the right-hand side of a one-way street involves a similar technique. By looking out of the driver's window, we can easily see the space we're backing into. As with all unfamiliar practices, the initial problems of reversing and parking are overcome by practice. We practice and practice and practice until method and judgment become almost second nature. To be able to reverse in traffic quickly and neatly into a parking spot, this is a milestone of an asset for any driver.